They say motherhood is a journey, but let's be honest, sometimes it feels more like a roller coaster with no seatbelt. I bet you're like me, wondering why babies, or teens in my case, don't come with instruction manuals. Welcome to This Incredible Mom Life, the podcast that celebrates the beautiful chaos, quiet wins, messy moments, and everyday miracles of being a mom. I'm your host, Dummy, wellness coach, mom of three boys, and a passionate believer that you don't have to live at the mercy of PMS, burnout, or exhaustion. Join me every week as we hear the craziest and most unbelievable mom stories. I'll be sharing the huge accomplishments and triumphs of both our moms and their kids. We'll giggle, cheer on the kids, and discuss obstacles and lessons learned along the way. If you are struggling to be the best mom you can be, how open-minded are you to booking a free call with me? You don't have to live at the mercy of your cycle, and you definitely don't have to do it alone. Give yourself permission to let me be part of your support system. I believe that you weren't meant to just survive motherhood. You were meant to thrive in it. Hello, hello. Today I have a bonus supermom with me. Most coaches struggle to get a steady stream of clients. Julie Ritchie shows them how to get more sales each week by activating their audience and turning browsers into buyers without ads or complicated funnels. By focusing on simple client-generating activities and helping you to make them into habits, you'll start to move the needle and exceed your goals in business. She values simplicity and timeless strategies combined with the power of connection. It's her mission to make sure that heart-centered business owners are also well paid. She lives in County Durham in a rural farming community in the northeast of England with her boyfriend, his three kids, and their little dog. Thank you, Julie, for taking time out of your day to be here with me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I know we're going to have a very interesting conversation today. So first off, who are you a bonus mom to?
Yep. So I'm a bonus mum to my partner's three kids, and they are 6, 7, and 11 years old. A boy
So,
and two girls. Yeah.
so you are busy when they're with you, I'm sure.
Yes, it can get pretty hectic when they're with us.
Great. Well, tell us a story.
Yeah, so my story is about attempting to get the kids to eat vegetables. And it's been a little bit of a bone of contention, let's say, but I'm big into healthy eating and always have been, and diet and lifestyle. And, I guess when you're a stepmom, the kids don't always come with the same values that you might have or that you might want if they're your own kids. So, when we kind of got together and I started feeding them, I tried to serve them vegetables, and this didn't always go down very well. The girls are better than the boy. The boy will not eat anything remotely veg like. Luckily, he eats fruit, thank goodness, because I don't know what we would do otherwise. But I've had a bit of an ongoing, do I want to call it a battle, challenge with trying to get them to eat fruit and veg. So one day I spent absolutely hours cooking a homemade lasagna for them from scratch, making it as beautiful as I could. I hid the veg, so hidden veg where you blend it up and you put it in the sauce. And I thought, this is going to be it. They're going to love it. But they're so fussy, and they took one bite. It's usually the older girl, what she says, and then the little ones will go with that. So it's all on her. So served it up, and she took a bite, and I don't like this, she said. So the little ones said, I don't like this either. So the lasagna didn't go down well. And that's just one example. However, they do like chicken curry, and I can get the hidden veg in the sauce there, and a couple of other things. And the girls will eat some peas and some carrots, and they'll all eat fruit. So we're getting there, but it's been, yeah, there have been a few tea time battles, let's say, about the veg.
Oh, yes. I have three picky eaters. So I know exactly what you're going through. And I do the same thing. I puree the vegetables and put them into the sauce, the marinara sauce. So yeah, I do it. I puree tofu and throw it into the baked ziti. I do it all.
Yeah,
um,
It's crazy because I have to do it. I have to hide that I'm obviously putting the veg in the sauce. If they catch a whiff of it, that's it. They won't eat it. It's like they will say, "What is that green stuff in the sauce?" And I just have to say, "Oh, it's seasoning. It's herbs." Because if they catch a whiff that it's veg, they'll immediately be like, "I don't like it." And it's like, "But you do because you've been eating it and you just don't know that you have."
Yes. I totally can relate to what you're saying because I have been sneaking vegetables into my kids' foods for years. I have teenagers, so I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 12-year-old. And I still sneak the food in there. And my husband, too, he's not a big vegetable eater. So it goes into his food also.
Hey, please tell
um,
me they grow out of it, but
well, now they understand. So now I'm teaching them, you need your fruits and vegetables. They want to play sports and this and that. I'm like, well, you need these nutrients. So now I'm teaching them, and that they know that the sauce at home at least has vegetables or tofu or flax seeds or something in there.
yeah,
And I'm always like, your muffins that I make at home are much better than the ones we eat at the bakery. But it's a
100%.
learning process for me and for them, I think, every day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what I've learned is not to try to force them because that just goes the other way. So we've had a few kind of dramas about that. But if I can find fun ways to make it interesting, I don't know if you've tried this, but I've seen or come up with the idea of a game with fruits and veggies and things that they can try in like a big colored, like a baking tray, but colored and just little portions and make it a game and give them like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So I thought of trying that. So that's kind of something I'm going to test out.
Yeah. I actually have a YouTube video on picky eaters, and I have a bonus guide. If any of my listeners want a picky eaters guide, I have resources for you. So,
I'll have that, please.
yes, I tell you, I do it every day. Yeah, so great story. I love it. I haven't had anyone talk about picky eaters yet, so that's good. Okay, so now please tell us what you do as a coach and who you help.
Yeah, sure. So, as you said, I am a business coach and I work with service providers. As you said at the beginning, a lot of service providers struggle to get enough clients. And what I help them do is turn browsers into buyers through simple client creation activities. So often people want to run before they can walk in business. And I know because I did the same thing. But actually, it's getting those basics in place that will bring clients and sales, and then you can scale from there. So, my whole premise is about let's help you to connect, let's get you out there, let's get you doing the foundational pieces. Once those are in place, if you want to scale, absolutely.
Amazing. So for my listeners are mostly moms. So for a mom who is either thinking about starting a business or maybe just at the very beginning stages, what advice would you give to her?
Yeah, so my advice for this is don't worry about business cards. Don't worry about fancy websites with all the bells and whistles. Do not spend loads and loads of money and time creating a course before you know it will sell. So, what we want to get away from is the kind of overthinking, sitting behind the laptop, making things, fiddling with websites, fiddling with graphics in Canva before we've even gone and spoken to anyone and seen whether the idea is a good one. So I know it's confronting, and that's why we avoid it when we start a business. But to actually go out and speak to people and connect, whether it's networking, whether it's like we did on a Connect call or Zoom or on social media, but to actually talk to the people who could be a client for them.
Mhm.
If they have an idea about their niche or what they might want to sell or who they might want to serve, go and speak to those people and find out what problems are they having, what help do they need, and indeed what would they pay for. And if you do that before you ever touch a website or get a business card or anything, you'll save yourself a lot of stress, money, and time. So that's my biggest piece of advice for anyone starting out. Focus on the
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've heard that from my business coaches as well. So that resonates with me also. Um, Now, Julie, your brand is called Do Business Like a Woman.
Mhm.
And I know that you have incorporated your monthly cycle in your workflow. So can you talk about that?
You have indeed, yes. So I'll share the full story, and I think that you know this, Amy, is that I have endometriosis, been diagnosed with endometriosis, and if anyone doesn't know what that is, it is a painful condition, and it can affect your periods. It can make your periods painful, and also different times of the month. You can be tired and kind of struggle with that. So I had problems, in this area with very painful periods from when I was about 14 years old. And I can remember being at school, getting rushed to the nurse's office and being sent home at 14 because of period cramps. And my mum took me to the doctor, the GP, the doctor put me on the contraceptive pill. And I stayed on the pill for about 25 years, which is not, you're not really supposed to do. It's not great for your health. But as I became older and I looked into it, I got into kind of healing and alternative lifestyle. I knew that that wasn't the answer. It was just masking the symptoms. So I took myself off the pill, and this was maybe 11 years ago, and the symptoms came back with force. They came back with a vengeance. Ever since then, I've really been on a healing path and trying different things, lifestyle things. I have had some surgery. It has made a difference. But that was when I got into working with my cycle. I needed to understand my cycle. I needed to understand what was going on. And if for nothing more than knowing when my period was going to come so that I could plan my business and my business activities, because I hate it. I hate letting people down. I found it really stressful if I was unable to keep commitments because I wasn't well. So it was kind of a little bit like I was pushed into it by my health condition in a way. But I'm so glad I was. And then when I started my business 10 years ago, I wanted it to be called Do Business Like a Woman. And I didn't know then that part of it would be, how do we actually work with our cycles as women? And what are our energy levels through the month? And how does that differ from how a male person might work? And how does that look different? Because I really feel like our society has been trained to work one way, and that's the masculine energy way. And it doesn't suit or us as women. That's just not always helpful, because our cycles, as you know, are cyclical, and we don't have the same energy levels, and the whole month through. Sometimes we need to rest, sometimes we have higher energies, as you well know. So this was my kind of journey into it, and ever since then it's been a part of my brand that I incorporate. Is okay, as women, as female people, how do we do this? How do we work in a way that supports us and that our cycles support us too?
I love that, because that's exactly what I teach on, is how to sync your life with your monthly cycle. And you're doing it with your business, but you can also do it with your diet, your exercise, how you book your social calendar even. And all of those things can, if you do them right, can eliminate your monthly symptoms, which I never knew until I tried it and I did it. So I love that you're actually really doing business like a woman.
Absolutely, yeah. And it has been such a gift. I sometimes think the things we resist at the beginning can be the biggest gifts.
Yes. And I will reiterate that the traditional working model, the 9 to 5, business day, social hours, all of that is based on the male hormone cycles.
Yeah.
And so, the social hours are planned when the testosterone jumps and they have a, higher social capability at that time and all of that. So I really love that you're incorporating your own monthly cycle into your workflow, and it's intuitive, right? But we are taught to ignore that intuition. So for you to, go back and relearn it is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say it was really hard sometimes because the conditioning runs so deep. Even with a brand called Do Business Like a Woman, I would struggle sometimes and I would feel guilty or think that I should be working or that I shouldn't rest when I have my period and all this stuff for the longest time, because it is so ingrained in our society. So I have really sort of worked through that. I still get it a little bit sometimes, but a lot less these days. These days, I, have give myself permission to work with my cycle, to rest, and it makes such a difference to my business results, to my life, to how I feel.
Yeah, and that's one of my missions for my business, is to just increase awareness and education for women. And I've actually done a workshop for local doctors, because we never learned this. I'm a healthcare professional. We never learned this. This is new information. So I'm glad that you shared your story and other women can hear about it. So you have a free gift called Get More Clients, 5 Simple Steps to Explode Your Sales. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So I developed this because I saw that it was what people needed the most. And it comes back to what we were speaking about before, which is those basic activities that most of us are not doing, or at least not as consistently as we should, because it's easier to get shiny object syndrome or get distracted or jump on the latest trend. Well, actually, these activities, when you make them into habits, which is what I teach, um, it just becomes a lot easier, and you will find that you always have warm leads to talk to in your business. Your business will build and you will get clients over time and consistent sales on a weekly basis when you do it over time. So, this video series is breaking down those 5 activities. What are they? And it's there's no fluff. I'm actually teaching what the activities are, how to do them, and the videos are completely free. So they're hosted in my Facebook group. I'm actually in the process of creating them as we speak. So by the time people get over there, they will be available. But it is teaching you those basic client creation activities that you can do on a weekly, if not daily basis, that will bring in the clients. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed with all the things we feel we should be doing for marketing, and it can really stop us in our tracks because there's all the different platforms. And what should we be doing? Should it be podcasting? Should we be blogging, SEO? Like, should we be on social media? Which platforms? YouTube, this, that, and it can explode your head. And what I learned for me and what I help other people do is let's cut through all of that. Let's take it all the way back to the basics. What are those simple activities that, if you do them every day, will bring you clients and sales? And we do that. And then I teach it inside of my programs as well. But starting with those 5 videos that will show you exactly what to do and how to do it. So anyone can get started with those.
Perfect. And I have listened to a couple of your trainings and I like them. So I will be definitely going back and checking out the other ones that I haven't heard yet. Yeah, so if anybody wants that free guide, I will put the link in the show notes below.
Yeah, they're in my Facebook group. So if anyone, come over to the group, request to join, and then I'll make sure that you get those videos.
Perfect. Julie, how can people connect with you?
So the very best way actually is the Facebook group, because that's kind of where the community is. That's where it all happens. We have free weekly live trainings on a Thursday. If they have a look in the guides section there, you'll find the videos and all the free content and good stuff there. So definitely come to the Facebook group. It's called Do Business Like a Woman. So they'll be able to find it, and I'm sure you'll share the link. You can also just connect with me on Facebook. I'm there too, and we've got a link for that. I do have a website that people can have a look at. Those are sort of my main places. I have got presence on the other platforms, but one of the things I teach is not to spread yourself too thin, trying to master all of the platforms at once. So that's really my go-to is Facebook. Yeah.
Nice. And just as a quick aside, I learned about Julie from another podcast interview that she had done a couple years ago, and I joined her Facebook group, and you have been very responsive and in text and in DMs. So I am thankful for that. And like I said, I've learned some stuff from you already. So I'm looking forward to learning more.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. And isn't that just such a great testament to podcasting? Because I did that podcast interview a couple of years ago, and here you are, and we connected. So thank you for that. And also the work that you do, I think is really, really important. So I have a lot to learn from you as well.
Amazing. So I really enjoyed this conversation, Julie. Thank you so much again for joining me today.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Are you struggling to be the best mom you can be? Are you fatigued, overwhelmed, and stressed out? Are you losing precious time with your family because of PMS? If so, sign up for my free gift on how to start living in tune with your monthly cycle. The link to get it is in the show notes below. Use this guide to help you start to eliminate your symptoms of PMS, increase your energy, reduce stress, and fully enjoy this incredible mom life. The way I see it, you have 3 choices. You can try to figure it all out on your own. You can do nothing and stay where you are, or you can get the customized guidance you need to thrive as a mom. The choice is yours. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something from these stories. If you enjoyed this show, please make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. It really helps this show grow. If you have a mom story you would like to share, click on the link in the description below on becoming a podcast guest. Remember, the content on this podcast is for general information only. It does not replace any medical advice given by your healthcare providers. Please check with your doctor if you have any questions about your specific condition and before starting any new diet or exercise regimen. Thank you, and you will hear from me soon.